So it goes back to 1862 with my great-great-grandfather founded the Blackinton Company, and it was a full silver house. So fifth generation to carry on the tradition. And back then it was, they did everything from start to finish. It was huge. And then when that was sold, in about 100 years it was in business, so around mid-1960s, it was sold, and then my dad stayed on for a bit, and then he founded New England Sterling. I was about 4 years old when he got the contract and started making it with Lemon and Sons. And I knew that the Derby was a big thing. My parents going to Louisville, Kentucky. I still have some pictures of the early parades that they would go to, the floats. I remember the pictures of that. But my biggest memory would be Monday mornings, waking up after Derby weekend, and there would always be a little horse statue in my bed. And my dad would, every year I would get one. I don't have a lot of memories of the trophy. For some reason, I never saw it when I was little like that. It wasn't until I was working with the company that I got to see it. So it was just always like, yeah, big part of the family. It was always a pipe dream. I remember being in high school, I took a jewelry class, and I said, oh yeah, someday I'll make the Kentucky Derby trophy, just as kind of a pipe dream.
In the 90s, when I was working for somebody making it, but when I started working on my own business in 2000, when I left and started my business, and I was making it in my shop, I think it really started to hit me then that this is something that, you know, is really important. It's being made here, it's being made under my roof, and it just made me feel good. Yeah, it takes us around, what, 4 months now?
Yeah, it's roughly. Yeah, it's like late fall. It kind of varies depending on when the gold comes in, but it really gets into full swing in November. The castings, we get the castings done, the grain comes in, and it's a slower process. It's nothing that you want to just quickly sit down and do. Sometimes I do need to just kind of step away from it.
Yeah.
There's a lot of back and forth with it. So it's usually, yeah, it starts in the fall, and we finish it soon after the first of the year. For some reason, to see the jockey when he gets to hold the cup, I don't know. I just see like his face always or her face just always seems to hit the most emotion with me. I think he's got that. He's riding the horse, so yeah, that I get really happy about. It's definitely surreal. Like I said to Bill, even coming here, I'm like, I'm still not. This is still so surreal that this is happening. You know, what started off as a dream is something that now I'm doing with my spouse, and then so I know what it means to us. So then when we see other people, like you said, want to get their picture with it, and then there's been times like they wanted us in the picture, yeah. Which was kind of.
I feel proud.
Kind of
I really
fun.
do.
Funny, yeah. No, definitely. So it's really nice to see how people really do appreciate and love it, and that they're interested in how it's created, and I think then it gives them an even more appreciation of it. So we got a call from the owners that have the 1975 Foolish Pleasure Gold Cup, and that it had gotten some damage, and so they flew it up to us, and to have that cup where it all started, because we heard so many stories about the first year that they did it. I mean, my dad had like a 3-man shop. He didn't even have a silversmith in-house. It was not that had that capability. So we sought out Walter, and he showed him a picture of it, and Walter's like, yeah, we can do that. But he'd never made anything like that before in his life. And
he hadn't met Fred either. He didn't have a spinner.
Yeah, he didn't have a spinner, but he's like, we can do this. So it was like just their guts to take on something like that, because just determination to make it work, and that they did, and it came out beautiful. So you're hearing these stories, and then to have it in your hand, and then to be able to now be able to like fix it and work on it just meant the world to me. And they all came down.
Yeah.
Fred had passed away at that point, so he wasn't able to be there, but Walter was there, and my dad was there,
Mr. Gaskin.
Mr. Gaskin was there. He was Mr. Gaskin didn't do the engraving that used to be done here, but he would do kind of like the cutting, chiseling on the castings and the house marking. So he had a big part. Yeah, on the horse. So they all got to come down and got our picture taken with it. So that honestly was probably one of the most special moments for me when it comes to the trophy.